Okay, I'm just gonna cut through that because I don't know why. Well, I'm not showing up. Like, it's not even the music video is not even showing up on screen on the outbound. So I'm like, I'm not sure. Oh, there it goes.
Oh.
Thanks a lot, Rumble Studio. I really appreciate your technology. There we go. I forgot to turn off my volume at the other end. But anyway, we're just gonna start anyway. I don't know what happened. The music video wasn't showing up when it started out on the outbound stream, and now it just started to show up for like a few seconds, and then it just. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to another DaraChat. My name is Dara Moose, or Dara for short, because some of you people, English, English is your language, but you don't speak it well. But hey, Byron, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, sorry about that. But anyway, I get to have back on from Infinitale. Chris has returned. He's come back, everyone. He's back from his long foreshadowed adventure in the land of
Gotta put the umlaut on that. Gives it that little bit of authenticity.
hold on, I got another one. No, but anyway, how are you doing, good sir?
Doing well. Enjoying playing the fiddle as the empire burns. Yeah, it's been fun.
I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. Um, but I mean, yeah, how's your comic stuff still going? Because I know that was what you're on last time. So
Oh yeah. So, book one and book two, both crowdfunding campaigns have successfully come and gone. Book two is now available on Amazon along with book one.
oh,
And yeah, we're working on book three now. And let's see. So in the crowdfunding campaign, everybody that backed book two got a 44-page black and white preview of book three.
hmm.
And yeah, so it was just chapter one, and we're currently working on chapter two. I think we're going into chapter three now, and there's about 4 or 5 chapters per book. So
Oh,
we're aiming to get this completed by end of summer next year. So
oh.
fingers crossed.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've always been fascinated by the comic making because again, of course, you have obviously, of course, you have the big companies, Marvel and DC, and then you have sort of this indie portion of it, and then you have like the other, other parts of the world and how they do it, and like it does seem like it for your end, it does seem like it takes well, but like for you, I'm pretty sure you just want to make sure it comes out right, you know.
Yeah. Well, we've definitely run into some scenarios where it's like, you can have it fast, you can have it cheap, or you can have it good. Pick two.
Mm.
You know, and yeah, I've had to revise some stuff. In fact, for the book two campaign,
Mm.
we actually had 2 art teams do the
Ooh,
book separately. So there were actually 2 versions of the same book, same story and everything. But I kind of pitched art teams kind of against each other, and
yeah.
whoever got back the most was our future.
Mm.
And yeah, that's the team that quote unquote lost. Their book is now a collector's item. It'll never be reprinted. So
Wow. Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like I guess you do want a form of competition because I mean, you do again. You have sort of like the controversies with like the big two and their failings and whatnot, and people feeling let down.
mm,
Because I think it was last time I saw like American comic be like on a like the scale or whatever it is, it was mostly
mhm.
Batman.
Yeah.
It was it was mostly Batman, and so that kind of goes to show that like one character is winning it out, and then the rest was just manga, I believe, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Well,
So
yeah, manga, like, I think manga has a huge edge,
mm,
especially in the West over Western comics, because manga wins by attrition. like those books are really cheap to get out. A lot of them are
Yeah.
newsprint, black and white,
Mm.
and their turnaround is insane.
Yeah.
Whereas Western books, they kind of they put a lot more color, a lot more visuals into it, and as a result, it takes longer to make. It's more expensive.
Mm.
Slower to get to market.
Mm.
And honestly, like the agile approach of getting the story out there, getting it into people's hands, I think it's winning. I mean, I don't want to be the one that says, "Oh, let's make a cheap book," but
Mm.
but at the same time, these masterpieces that take 5, 6, 7 years to make,
Mm.
by the time they come out, people have forgot about it.
No, that is true, and that's been a fascinating ordeal because part of it is that work ethic that I think a lot of American or English indie comic creators would be like, I can't, I want to take time with this, and that's understandable, right? You want to create a good story that lasts and all this stuff, but it also comes compare that your competition is depending on, right? Depending on the publishing group they're with, they
Hmm.
could be like a One Piece. Like One
Oh
Piece
yeah,
has been out since what, 20ish years at this point.
yeah,
and
yeah.
and the way Oda-san just pumps that out, like I believe he did. There was a picturing of some kind or something where they were showing his schedule, and it was just insane the amount of time he's dedicating to like. I don't see that happening with a lot of American English uh indie comic artist because your life is on the line for this thing. Like you want to get the pay. I mean, what was it like? People do GoFundMe or Kickstarter, or was it Indiego? No, I don't say GoFundMe, but like Indiegogo, and I think there's like
Mhm.
another place for comics to fund your comics. I'm not sure
Yep.
what that is.
Yeah.
Um,
Fund my comic.
oh, Fund My Comic. That's right. I forget there's a website just specifically called that. Um, but I mean that's the I feel like that's the hurdle onward. I mean, there are people on this side of the water, right, who've made a name for themselves, and so they can take their time because the name recognition, right? Like,
Mhm, mhm.
they can be like, oh, it'll be a year, and people be like, oh, I can't wait, all this stuff. But for others who don't have that name recognition, it's a much different field. I mean, you do you know other comic book artists that you chat with, or
Oh yeah, yeah. It's actually a pretty small world when it comes to indie comics. I mean, or at least from what I've seen, there's the little camps here and there. There's like it feels like high school lunch all over again.
Mhm.
Like I was the kid that sat with the jocks, the goths, the band geeks, the nerds, like pretty much anyone. And I'm kind of fortunate enough to be able to filter or float between the different groups. But yeah, there are groups there, and the jocks don't like the nerds. The nerds don't like the band geeks. The goth kids don't like anyone. You know,
Right.
so I mean, they all have their own little group, but
Mhm.
in a way, those groups kind of help because they're almost like mini production houses where they kind of riff off of each other.
Oh.
They build their own like online presence and stuff, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, that's so and so. Oh yeah, they've got friends in this and this and this. And then you got, oh dude, we got former pros over here doing this, and then we've got brand new people that nobody's ever heard of. Where are they going to filter to?
Mhm.
So
No, listen, that is again, that's the interesting part. So my question to you is because you've been in this for quite some time.
oh yeah.
Yeah, no joke for that one. But like from your end of things, like what is the talk of other comic book makers? I guess I don't know if I'll call them that, but like what do you hear from them when that kind of stuff comes up? Like
well, yeah, the drama, the infighting, the this, more the majority of people, fortunately, in these groups are in it for the comics. The other stuff is just kind of window dressing. I know for a fact that drama sells
Yeah.
and it gets attention.
Mhm.
And I think I'm allergic to it, so
Yeah.
I haven't been able to fare that well. Like as soon as I see the fighting or I see the the mean girls come out,
Yeah.
I'm kind of off doing my own thing.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, they get the viewers. They get people want to see the car wreck.
Right. Yeah. That I can understand. But like, um, it was more leaning towards like, what is the talk of when stuff like, people are bringing up like, hey, Lieutenant, how are you? Hey,
Hey.
Comic Queen. But what is the conversation from other comic book makers that
Mhm.
when that subject of like manga and that sort of space comes up? Because I can't
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine that even I I don't want to say I can't imagine because that just sounds weird trying to say this. I can't can't imagine. No, I can't imagine that when it does come up, it's either scoffed at or it's kind of maybe given some discussion, but not too much because again, this is the part of the world for you is here. So that's far
Mhm,
off.
mhm.
But like you can't go into a Barnes and Noble or bookstore and tell me that to some degree that the current comic I don't want to say conundrum the current comic dilemma is lagging in that
Yeah.
essence.
Yeah, it's really odd because I've seen kind of two camps. I've
Mhm.
seen people that are receptive to the manga approach, and I've seen people that are staunchly opposed to it. The zero weeb zone, as they call it. Um, because like I actually on my second campaign, how I had
Mm,
mentioned, I produced two books. I actually
yeah.
produced four books.
Oh.
Yeah, the third was obviously that 44-page preview of chapter one for book three, but I also produced a sort of trade paperback manga edition of books one and two put together, and it's in the manga
Oh.
format. So right,
Mm,
you read it right to left, all of the
mm.
onomatopoeias in Japanese,
Oh.
and yeah, like it didn't get the from the crowdfunding side, or at least from the Western side, it didn't get like the reception I thought it would. It was actually in all the books that got backed, it was the least backed book.
Hmm.
Um, but
Understandable.
yeah, but it's weird because outside of crowdfunding, the book's a lot more digestible. It's a lot more easy to hand out. It's a smaller size. It's in the digests format. The basically like a was it 5 by 7 or whatever, very small book,
Right.
or whatever the manga are, and you just throw them out to people. Hey, give it a read, give it a read. And it's like, oh, dude, this was great.
Yeah. No, that's I mean, in essence, I mean, I guess it shouldn't be counted on like if you were to do a manga format to try that arena just to see. It
Mhm.
would be not the best to assume that it would sell well just because of what's going on there. It's really more I feel like an established form. I Because obviously, of course, you're gonna do it in the same art form that you're doing it now with your characters and all this stuff. Hey, Amish, thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Look at
Hey,
that. Amish Zaku being the Amish that he is, and probably just got done with his creator creation thing. So nice to see you, good sir. But yeah,
cool.
I would think that because I think the one that is probably doing that and is doing pretty well on it is the Common America one.
Oh yeah.
Because I've seen that one. What's the name? Is it Imagine? What's the Image? I think it's called the brand Image.
Mhm.
Um, Nice to see you, good sir, and you too, Jackson. Nice to see you again. Um, but yeah, I think they're kind of doing pretty good with it because it's just been a build up. I think with their first one was Common America, and then they did like Bunny Hops and all that stuff. And it looks pretty neat. Like I think I remember seeing when they first started off, but they've really grown their own way. And so I think that I really think that's the probably the goal of most indie comics is to grow big enough that you can make a small company out of it. I mean, I
Oh
would
yeah.
think.
Yeah. My goal is to just get the entire story out. I
Mm.
don't know how insurmountable that is, but it was originally planned as a 10-book series.
Mhm.
It got a lot of. So I originally, this is kind of embarrassing. Funny story. Let my humiliation be your entertainment.
Right.
I originally started the Infinitale series as a tabletop role playing game when I was a kid,
Right.
and I went into video game development. I was a video game designer for about a decade,
Mhm.
and I got really tired of how tenuous that industry was. I mean, we can see it now how volatile it is. So I got tired of chasing my meal, and I
Right.
ended up jumping over to cybersecurity, and I've been, knock on wood, steadily employed there for over a decade.
Nice.
But cybersecurity doesn't offer that same level of creative outlet
Right.
that video game development did. So
Mhm.
I got kind of depressed, kind of bored, and I really didn't like a lot of what was coming out of mainstream. It felt like all of my hobbies just kind of told me they didn't want me as their customer anymore.
Right.
So I was like, wow, this sucks. So rather than like complaining about it, yeah, I thought, well, why don't I try to do something about it? And I
Yeah.
looked back at that game that I did back when I was like 13 or whatever, back in the early 90s, and
Mhm.
went, that was the last time I really had that joie de vivre.
Mhm.
So I converted it into a screenplay because I'm a masochist. I studied screenplay. I entered into this contest. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it, but Matt Damon and Ben Affleck had a Project Greenlight here in
Mm.
Boston,
Oh, I didn't know that.
and yeah, it was. Honestly, like we can joke about celebrities and movie stars and all that stuff, but I have a lot of respect for what I was told by those guys,
Mhm.
and I took a lot of it to heart, especially when I got taken aside, had the arm on my shoulder. I really like your stuff, kid. It's really good, but I'll tell you right now, no producer's gonna touch this.
Right.
It's like you got your eyes are too big. Like this
Mm.
is you might want to try something animated or something. I'm like, oh, okay. Nobody's gonna produce this because let's just face it, you're an unproven creator,
Yeah.
unproven director, writer, whatever. So I was like,
Uh,
yeah, okay. So I was talking to one of my buddies that was still in the gaming industry. He was an engineer. He worked over at Blizzard. Ooh,
ooh.
Blizzard. And he's like, maybe you should make like just write novels or whatever.
Mm.
I'm like, I don't know, like I want to do something a little more. And I know I'm going to piss a lot of novelists off, but I'm like, I want to do something a little more visual. I want
Right.
to, I want to get something with the kids.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, why don't you do comics? I'm like, well, I don't really know how to do comics. It's like, well, you got your screenplay. Try to, to approach somebody that knows what they're doing, and they'll fix it for you.
Mhm.
So I approached this guy out in California who has his own indie, like, we will help you make your comic business, high concept media properties. Took a
Mhm.
look at my stuff, and he's like, there's no way that like anybody will ever make a comic out of this. This is like a gargantuan monstrosity. Like this thing was like bigger than War and Peace.
Wow.
So it's like not only that, but your screenplay format, no comic artist will ever touch this.
Mhm.
So he helped me convert my screenplay format into comic book font, like script for comic book artists.
Mhm.
And then we did a bunch of like a lot of choppy. And it was like
Mhm.
rather than doing one gargantuan book, we can start off doing smaller books. And we moved around a lot of parts to because there's this whole thing in storytelling, peaks and valleys or peaks and
Yeah.
troughs. And you've got your rising action, and then you got your well, basically to simplify it, you don't want to make all like have it all up front and then just everything else afterwards is boring.
Right.
So we pieced it all out, and I created we produced the first book, set it out to crowdfunding,
Mhm.
and I was surprised, like it got funded. And
Oh.
I was like, wow, I'm an unproven writer, I'm an unproven creator,
Mhm.
and apparently 213 people said, yeah, I'll take it, I'll give it a shot. And yeah, I shipped them all out, all the books, got some reviews. I have them up on the site. People seemed really happy with that. So we went for book two, and I thought,
Oh.
well, if book one is the litmus test to tell us whether or not there's any interest in the product,
Mhm.
the sophomore entering will be more of the, is there any sustainability into this?
Right.
So the page count doubled, it almost tripled. And yeah, unfortunately, we ran into a few snags here and there, and it took almost 4 years to get the second book to the crowdfunding phase. But once
Wow.
we did, yeah, we got it out there, and people seem to like it. So we're heading in for round three.
That's but still that's pretty awesome though, because again you were told we won't, won't be touched, all this stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but I also feel like it was funny because when you said the big eyes thing, that's like, well, that's majority of manga. So like that's kind of like that's like, you sure about saying that now?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, that and comics come in two, like any series comes in two flavors. You know,
Mhm,
you've got something called episodic, which is a self-contained story.
mhm,
You know, page one and the last page, they tie in the story, but a lot of that also has to rely on external knowledge, i.e., if you have a Batman story, there's
yeah,
already a lot of preconceived or a lot of already known things about Batman when
yeah,
you read those episodic books. And the other type of flavor is the progressive story, where you've got a gargantuan story
mhm,
and it leads up to this mega plot, you know, this meta plot,
mhm,
but each book is like an episode, is a kind of a small cut in that story where they're not self-contained. And a
mhm.
lot of manga does that. A lot of manga will be like, okay, I'm left on a cliffhanger on book one. I got to
Yeah,
get book two, you know?
yeah. I think it's just a very interesting way of looking at the two different styles, and then wondering kind of like where that, well, the popularity of, right, because of that
Mm.
regard of all that. And again, funny enough, when someone said like years ago, don't do big eyes, and big eyes is probably one of the biggest things in manga. And
What?
and you're like, they won't touch that, and like you do realize there's a lot of stuff out there in manga that you would say that about, but people are still touching it. So
Yep. Yeah, don't listen to what they say, listen to what they do, or
that's
watch what they do.
That's very true. But it is kind of sad though when they say like nobody would touch it. But it when you're starting out, when you're trying to make this thing something that's kind of growing out of you in essence, you try to find a way to put it. As right, instead of doing a novel, you do a visualness of it.
Mm.
And I mean, it looks, so far I can tell it looks pretty good. Like you have a group that draws it, right? Like
Oh,
you're
yeah. Yeah, I've got the PayPal, receipts to prove it.
someone
Yeah.
someone asks you to join, like, "Look, I love you, but that's not gonna happen." Hey, Dev, how's it going?
Well, I used to be an artist,
Oh,
but,
really?
yeah, I ended up getting, something called peripheral neuropathy in my hands, so I lost the ability to draw. Like, I've got
Mm,
GI Joe kung fu grip hands now. Yeah, yeah. There's a, I don't know what exactly they called it, but if I hold a pencil or anything that requires fine motor control in the fingers for an extended period of time, the hands will cramp up and they'll stay in like a T Rex or like a gnarled state. So yeah.
almost I would think that's what, I thought that's what, like, carpal tunnel was, because, if you overuse it for a certain time, it would just, like, you just wouldn't be able to use it for.
Yeah, I honestly, that's what got me into the to see a doctor, was I thought it was carpal too, but
Mm,
then it was on both hands, and then they did like, it's really gross, but they actually stuck needles into my nerves and made me twiddle my fingers and all this stuff, and
wow.
it was like a weird like microphone or something, because you could hear when you were doing stuff, you could hear,
Ugh,
and
ugh, ugh,
yeah, yeah, they're
mm.
like, make a fist, and I'm like, you know. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Nope, not for me. But that kind of sucks though, because it's sort of a capability you have, but it's sort of out of your control.
Mm.
Which I don't know if they do medications for that kind of thing. I know for like carpal tunnel they make you wear like a brace or surgery
Oh,
or
yeah.
stuff like that. Um, but no, that's insane. But you know what? At least you can pay other people to do it. That's what
Yeah.
that's what that's all about. Uh,
Yeah.
but
But
no, that's, oh god.
I've been fortunate enough to work with some really great artists.
Mm,
Um, because here's a caveat. hashtag only writers in the indie sphere
Mm.
are targets for fraud. A
Oh.
lot of times, yeah, a lot of times artists, there are artists out there, and it's not all of them.
Mm.
It's that one black jelly bean in the jar.
Mm-hmm.
But I happen to get it, and they will scam you. And
Okay.
I've known other artists or other writers that have been scammed as well.
Mm.
And I fortunately I'm friends with artists, and one of them actually did a super bro move for me, and he said, "Okay, what did this artist basically screw you out of?" I was like, "This and this." He's like, "Oh, okay," and he hooked me up with it. Like no questions asked, just boom, send it out. You know?
Yeah. It again, I've this is one of the things with X, right? Like for a time period, it was like you'd have these people who want a commission, and at
Mhm.
first they were outright with it, but then they try to get all buddy buddy with you, and then they would get, then they would let you know. Like I can't tell you the many times I've come across somebody who's like, they're nice, they follow you, and then they're nice and everything. You're just like something's off. You feel
Yep.
something's off. You feel like, oh, hold on a second.
Always trust that.
I think they want a commission from me, and I did a call out to one. Like I would always whenever after a certain point, I'd be like, whenever it happened, I'd be like, I'm not interested in commissions. Hello, how are you? I'm not interested in commissions. And be like, oh no, I'm not here for that. And then they talk, and then, hey, would you like? I'm an artist. Would you like? And I'm like, that's when you know. I already
Yep.
knew. You're just proving the point.
Yep.
Um, it's not as prevalent as it used to be. It feels like it's a lot less, but they are out there where it's just like I get you're wanting to look for a commission, but it feels like if you put all your eggs in that basket and you're relying on that to be like the moneymaker for you, and there's scams too, then you're in the wrong business because you're gonna need something to supplement while you're waiting for the next job to drop, basically.
Yeah. 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 Well, that's what it is for me as the writer. Like,
Mm.
like I said, cybersecurity is my day job. Like
Yeah.
this comic stuff is, I mean, I've heard terms like vanity project and passion project and all that stuff. And it kind of is that for me. It is a sense of if the book doesn't sell as I expected, it's not going to, ruin me and destroy my livelihood. It's just going to make me sad. You know?
And over here, we see Chris with tears flowing down his face. There's just there's no noise, just silence as he looks at his comic and just stares. Stares on to the next art exhibit, by the way. Just leave this one alone. Let's go to the next.
Yeah.
This one is called The Sad Artist, or comic book. The comic book
Yeah.
maker. No, that would be an interesting art exhibit. Wow, mommy, what kind of press is that? That's called a life choice, honey. Let's keep going.
Well, there is a famous quote in comics. It's comics. It'll break your heart, kid. Jack Kirby. Famous quote.
There you go. There you go. Well known, by the way. Well known. But no, I find that fascinating too. In just that, in just the whole scope of it, because I'm not in that field. I've never. I've met many people. I've met some people who do. I actually had someone on. His name is Vaughn, who's doing his own comic and stuff.
Ooh.
And so there are people out there trying to do it, but it's sort of a. I feel in a sense that comic book artistry is in sort of like similar to the category of animation, right? Like
Mhm, mhm.
great animated works out there, beautiful. Ghibli is one of them. Like all
Oh
the
yeah.
Ghibli stuff is beautiful. Only problem is though is that the return on it is not always great. And so basically in the subject of animation, right? Like you're making this thing, money's been put into it, but it's based on a supposed return investment because they have to make a certain amount of money to break even for this thing. And
Mm.
and comics is sort of in that same way where you can make on demand. I think like once you get everything done, you could probably
Yep.
print
Yep.
on demand, but
Yep.
it still is you have to pay for all those bits and pieces in order for it to get the full book, and the payout, once you've paid all your expenses and taxes and whatnot, you're not left with much,
Nope.
depending on how well it does. So I kind of feel like that's what with indie comics is sort of similar to animation. It's just it's a if you believe in it and you love what you do, then the rest of it doesn't matter. But if you're looking to make a business out of it, it is a difficult process because
Oh yeah.
you you have to create a story people want to read, and
Yeah.
sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing is you as a creator, you really need to check your ego. You know, like there's nobody is entitled to success and nobody is entitled to an audience.
Mm,
And a lot of times I think that is the biggest like factor in defeat that I've seen
mhm.
is that people go into this thinking that they're going to make it big and that every like they've got the greatest book, the greatest idea, whatever. And then it comes out there and you hear the
Yep.
and it didn't work out and their immediate reaction is, well, screw this. I'm not seeing the ROI. I put all of this investment in and I'm not getting any return. I'm done and they'll crash out and and that's why we see a lot of number ones and fewer number twos and even fewer number threes.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know,
number 3 is not, pretty to witness, but that's another story. But I would've said this is a number 2 situation, but then I would've been full of crap. But but there we go. But yeah, it's this thing of like, I get to some degree where some people will wanna make it to as a hobby thing, right? Majority of the time, and then some will want to turn that into a business. But
Mhm.
my question is, how many times can you tell the same story before the same story starts to wear thin,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like we all like at some point we all know that there's a thing called the hero's journey,
Oh
right?
yeah. Joseph Campbell, baby.
Right. Joseph Campbell. I don't know who he is, but he sounds like he's a good at making soup. But that's right, Daddy's still in town. But I don't know. I don't know. I think in the regard of what you're saying that they kind of need to come at it not expecting anything out of it.
Yeah.
I think the best thing that technology has allowed. Hey, Conquest, how are you doing? Nice
Hey.
to see ya. He has conquested into the chat. I think one of the best things technology has allowed is it's allowed the ability for everyone to shine a bit, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Give them a moment to shine. Whether you shine or whether you get that notice because of that shine, that's a different playing field. But if you're just doing it to shine, to show off your wares and be like, here's what I have, and all that stuff, like success comes in many different forms. I would
Oh
think
yeah.
that's good,
Yeah.
real good. But but yeah, I really think that in itself, the comic making industry is sort of in the similar fashion of animation, and but it's in the regard of that while animation has a company and they have a budget or whatever, you basically have whatever you can afford.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I had the unfortunate conversation with my artists
Mm,
due to the instability of the job market, where I
yeah.
said basically we're going to have to make our pages in smaller chunks so that
Mhm,
I can assure that you get paid
mm.
because the moment I lose my job, I have to go into austerity mode. Like I don't want to be homeless.
Oh yeah.
So that means all luxury things like this vanity project, they
Yeah.
get put on hiatus.
Mm,
And yeah, but obviously I have to prioritize, survival. But at the same time, I want to make sure that the people I work with have a good experience working with me, so
mm.
I can continue a working relationship.
Yeah, 'cause
Because yeah, the opposite. I've seen people just they crash out. They're like, I can't afford to pay my artist, and then they just bail. And it's like, dude, that artist just spent the last 6 months doing work that he's not getting paid for.
yeah,
That's a hell no.
that's where I think like in the regard of doing independently, I
Mhm.
do think that it might be time that independents start looking to do contractual,
Mhm.
because it can not only protect you, but it can protect them as well.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you obviously want to give your artist a good deal, but you have to put in the stipulations like, hey, here's what's going to happen. I need at least this amount by this time or whatever, because
Mhm.
obviously, of course, everyone has a life going on and all that stuff. But like, if you're working for money to some regard, then you've got to give the return of what's asked for. And I really, and you've seen that. I've seen that a bit too, where you hear people get dropped by their artists. They get scammed by their artists, or the artist is just like, nope, I'm done, and they don't even finish the project. It's like, both sides need a protection, and
Yep.
I feel like contracting is the way to go, because you can't predict the future from either end, which, something happens, right? Family member dies or stuff like that. Stuff happens that's out of your control.
Mhm.
But you can at least protect yourself from on the other side, with the regard of saying, okay, here's the thing. Once you sign it, you got to follow through with it and all this stuff. Because you may come across somebody who's a bit jerkish, and that could be on both sides. It can happen. But yeah, I just think, like, I've seen one or two times where you're on X, where somebody gets scammed by their artist, or they just up and quit, or they just stop communicating altogether. And that's another thing too, is like when your artist or when your comic book person just stops communicating altogether, and you can't get a hold of them, and your bills are coming up. You're like,
Yeah.
where's that payment at? You said you would pay me.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen these. These are not good scenarios, and unfortunately, yeah, a lot of because indie also often equates to amateur. So there is that level or lack of, I guess, like dotting all the i's and crossing all the t's.
Mhm.
And I've been fortunate enough to make those mistakes early on, so that I can define my contracts in the sense that we have this written down, it's documented, so
Mhm.
small claims courts love that.
Yeah,
But it's all documented. This is what this is what I'm paying you for, this is what you're performing as a service,
yeah.
and and so on. But yeah, like I was saying, I had to actually readdress those contracts to shrink the frequency, or make the frequencies with smaller kind of bundles. Like usually it's like, give me this amount of money is for 10 pages or 20 pages or 25 or whatever, and now it's like, this is for 5 pages. Like,
Jeez.
we've had to reduce that so that when they reach that end, they
Mhm,
get their payment, and
mhm.
then we renew again for another. Okay, do you want to do another 5 pages and another five? Because I can't do the big scope
Yeah,
because it's just not there.
yeah.
There's no
Well,
stability.
and that's an interesting too, is like, obviously, of course, there's a way of like keeping the contract, the same type of contract going, with just some small changes, uh,
Mm.
in order to keep that, so you're not like having them, sign it every single time, like,
Yeah.
you do your five, here. That's kinda interesting, doing, like, batch pages, and then if you can't afford it, like, "Okay, we've covered it. When I come back, we'll talk it over, and we'll just go buy the same contract," and all that stuff. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's just a smart thing, that people should be doing, both the artist and the, comic book person, because I've just seen one too many times on X where someone got scammed, or they can't contact with the person or whatever, and it's just like,
Oof.
that's the sucky part. Like, why, you wouldn't do business with them again, and that's what you're trying to prevent, is the bad business. Like, you want to be in good standing, as the
Yep.
saying goes.
Yep.
You want to be in good standing.
Yeah. Yeah. In the business world, there's this term called churn.
Mm,
And it's the one thing all businesses need to avoid at all costs, because unlike a no sale where you try to sell somebody something and they're just not interested and they move on,
yeah.
a churn is they actively purchased your product and have either discontinued a business relationship with you because the product was inferior, something they didn't like, or some negative aspect. Well, now they've ended that business relationship with you, and now they're telling all of their friends not to do business with you.
Mm,
So yeah.
blacklisted.
Yep, exactly. And in a small indie sphere where I'm an unproven creator. I'm an unproven artist. Sure, I got a couple of books out, but I'm not a Pulitzer Prize winner. I'm not an Eisner winner.
Yeah.
There's no animated series planned for Infinitale.
Mm.
But you
One
know,
day. One day.
yes, oh yes. But yeah, one silver bullet. Somebody comes through and they're like, "Dude, don't work with Chris Fisk, man. He doesn't pay, or he reneged on a on some type of contract that just tore it up or whatever." And it's like, ooh, yeah, I don't want that. In fact, funny you should mention. So I had a customer on Amazon
Mm.
buy my second book,
Oh,
and I
nice.
know I shouldn't be saying this story, but the customer received a very shoddy product. Like
Mm.
I have the book on print on demand through Kindle Direct Publishing. That's how
Okay.
Amazon handles. You know,
Right.
he received the book, but apparently their distribution center, and it's a flip of the coin. Roll the dice
Mm.
as to where you are geographically located as to what kind of distribution center you'll get.
Yeah.
Well, apparently where this person lived, their distribution center was ran by Ace Ventura,
Mhm.
because he got his book and it looked like somebody surfed down the stairs with it. And yeah, he showed pictures of it and he
Huh.
requested a refund.
Yeah.
And Amazon told him that if he continues to ask for refunds on these books that show up all destroyed, that he'll have his account terminated over excessive refund requests.
Wow.
Yeah, so I jumped in and I'm like, this is a customer. This is my customer. If you're costing me business, the customer is looking at me. They're not looking at you. They're not thinking, oh, Amazon's crap. No, they're looking at Chris Fisk, who wrote, Infinitale Chronicles,
Mhm.
gave him a crappy book. That, like, in our economy, you can't dance around with that kind of money anymore.
Yeah.
So I added Amazon and basically ripped him a new one on social media. I'm like, if you guys can't treat your customers well, I'm gonna have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, I'm still on Amazon right now, and knock on wood, most of the people that have purchased my book on Amazon haven't received the Ace Ventura delivery service.
That's good.
So they got books intact. But if this is a continual thing, and where a customer is like, I didn't get what I paid for, and this is what I got. It's damaged. Like, and Amazon's response is, we're gonna delete your account or whatever. I'm gonna start looking elsewhere because it reflects poorly on me. Like,
Right. No, and that's a good thing to be reminded of is like, um stuff like that happens and you want to give a great product to your customer, but the real question is there anything out there similar
mm-hmm.
to what Amazon is doing to even do so? Like,
Yeah,
are you paying more, are you paying less, how does this thing go? Because I'm pretty sure what Amazon takes like a cut of the total
oh yeah,
amount,
yeah,
so that's
yeah,
that's where they're getting their payment, is they're taking a cut of what you do and trying to do indie alone. Like, going back to the manga comparison, they do something which is called a dojin or a dojinshi, which is
mhm,
basically they print it, they do all the coloring, they do whatever, they pretty much do the whole setup, right? And then they come to a place where, like a comic kit or something, and they showcase their wares, but they're basically doing all themselves, and that's a lot of time and money to do so.
mhm.
I can't imagine what it would cost for even you to do it on your own. I'm pretty sure that would rob the bank at that point.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're back in the red. Yeah.
Honey, what? I thought we were in the black. Why are we in the red this time? This is not good. Oh, this is awful. Um,
Yeah. Why is there a negative in front of your profits?
what? Why does this say negative? Why is it saying I don't remember this getting tossed in this much. So negative.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Let's see. Published. If I can spell the word right. Nope, that's not how you spell it. Nope. Personal crap. All right, here we go. Uh, oh, it really doesn't give much.
Oh.
Sorry. Hold on. I will show what I'm looking at. I was trying to look up if I was right in what I said. All right, here we go. I gotta zoom in. I
Ooh.
was looking at self-published manga. Self-published manga allows creators to retain full IP ownership and control over distribution with popular digital platforms like Webtoons, Tapas, Global Comics, and Manga Plus creators. For physical copies, artists can use print-on-demand services like Lulu.com. So there's an option right there. If you
Ooh.
ever want to look into it. Kindle, which I'm pretty sure you're using, and or
Yep.
specialized printers like Print Bind Ship. So make sure you write that down. Print, bind,
Ooh.
ship to produce right to left formatted books. Key strategies for success involve building an audience through social media and free serials before monetizing off of supplementing platform revenue with Patreon support or commissions. Um, I know many who use Patreon for that kind of stuff. While digital platforms offer wide reach, monetization can be challenging initially, requiring consistent promotion, high quality art to attract readers and potential traditional publishing interests. Uh, i- isn't it? I wanted to. What? Hold on. What is a self pub? Pretty sure I had it right. Pretty sure I had it right. Ah, there we go. I was right. I was right. Doujinshi or doujinshi. This Japanese term refers to self-published print works, including magazines and novels, and is part of a wider category of doujin, self-published works. While often derivative or created by amateurs, professional artists also use doujinshi to publish material outside the regular industry. Groups of artists refer to themselves as sakuru or circle, and these works are frequently distributed through conventions like Comic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I was hoping. Now there's another one like Taba, uh, Taba, Taba something. Um, but no, but yeah. So it is a lot of work. It is a lot of self promoting. It is a lot of personal finances. It's about personal time as well.
Mm.
But if it hits, it hits. And a lot of manga started out dojins. Now there's a other side of dojins, but we won't get into that. But like Comic Cat, what is Comic Cat? There we go. Hey, all right. Let's go see what this is about. Oh wow. Uh, is a semi-annual doujinshi convention in Tokyo, Japan. A grassroots market focused on the sale of doujin works. Comic is a not-for-profit fan convention administered by volunteer-run comic market per, comic market preparatory committee or Comiket PC. Inaugurated, 1975. Wow.
Wow.
Comic has since grown to become the largest fan convention in the world with an estimated turnstile attendance of 750,000 in 218. What? 200 to 750,000. What? Wow,
Honey.
that's insane.
Yeah.
35,000 circles. That's crazy. Groups, for those who don't know, 35,000 groups are a term for groups or individuals who create dojin. It's even a clamp. If you've ever heard of, hey, Fodub, how you doing, good sir? If you've ever heard of clamp, clamp is a all female circle, uh, a manga circle, so or mangaka circle. The mangaka, for those who don't know, is the title given to the one who makes the manga, basically.
Mm.
Um, but they do a lot more than that. But that's crazy. Ooh, hello. The number of Dojin circles producing derivative works for given media properties for Comic Cat. Fate's Day Night is about number of circles 2,517. That's a lot of circles. It's a lot of circles. Idol Masters, this is just of current. Uh, Comic Cat. Oh, not even current. This is like way past. Way in the past. But I mean, that's a lot of. Oh, Yuri on Ice. Oh, that's a good one. If you don't know what Yuri on Ice is, I'm not gonna help you. 200, 288 circles for Yuri on Ice. Interesting. Interesting. I've never. That's where you go though. Wow, that's crazy. Look at all those people right there.
Yeah.
But that's the building right there. Tokyo Big Site. I'm pretty sure it's called something else. Big Site in every
Ariake.
Ariake Ariake Tokyo. Thanks.
I think I've been there.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, I know they've like there are cons here in America, like Mega Con or whatever, but like, have you ever seen a con like this? Like, that's crazy to me right there.
Yeah.
There's like
That
two big garage open doors right there.
those are two dollar signs in my eyes.
Yeah, yeah, but you can see like I think there's like little tables of each, and it's. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a lot. Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of manga produced, but oops, no, I don't want. I want to go back. I'd like to go back to the page. Like to
Oh
go.
no.
There we go. Okay, I
Oh,
had to get out of that. Um, but no, that's crazy. Uh, okay. That's like 60s right there, 60s, 70s. A manga critique circle that founded the Comic Con. Okay. So
oh
it's around
wow.
1975 right there. So they founded the Comic Con. Wonder. Uh, Space Battle Yamamoto's cosplay at Comic Con 8.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
held in April 1978 at Oda City Industrial Building. Wow.
Yamamoto.
1978. Look at that.
Yeah. Do you remember Star Blazers?
I don't think I've heard of it.
Oh, so that was the first I didn't even know it was Japanese, or we didn't even call it anime until like the 90s.
Mhm.
But when I was a little kid on WLVI 56 every morning, they had Space Battleship Yamato, and then one day it turned into Star Blazers, and I could understand what people were saying.
This is in 95. Wow. December of 1995. I apologize. That's pretty awesome. I wonder if there's let's see. 80, 90, 2025 was December. So they have two, one in August and one in December. Um interesting. Interesting. The largest comics festival in Europe and the second biggest in the world after the Comic at Luca Comics and Games.
Mm.
Comic World and Anime and Doujin Festival with events in South Korea, Hong Kong, and Taiwan.
Oh,
Com
nice.
Oh yeah, Furo, a Doujin convention. I tried. I really tried with that one. It was hard. Doujin convention in Indonesia. All right. Anime Expo and Anime Convention in Los Angeles, California. California. Yeah, California. Come here,
California.
California. Rumble browser is broke again. Streams keep freezing while watching. Still here though, fam. Hope you had a great day. You too. Yeah, well,
Oh,
it usually is, fo. Like they really haven't put enough into to getting that figured out. But there's little progress. Little progress with Rumble. I'll give him credit where it's due, but I'm gonna be reasonable about it. There's little progress. They still have a long way to go.
yeah.
But thank you for that. Japan Expo, a Japanese pop culture convention in France. La
Oh,
France.
nice.
La
Yeah.
France.
The Bandas des années.
Mais oui.
No, 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 no. So here's something that I learned a little younger in life. Because I got into comics through the French stuff. I didn't get
Ooh,
it. Yeah, I my first comic was Metal, which is
ooh.
was known as heavy metal in America,
Uh-huh.
and it was not for kids, but I still loved it. And it turns out that France, in particular, has a huge following that would probably eclipse manga in Europe. Called they call them bande des années or bande des années, which is, yeah, it's the A4 style. comics, and it's not for kids. It's a universal medium, and it's so sad that it did not leave Europe or France in particular. Because if this hit the way that it hit Europe, like if it came to America,
Mm.
I don't think we would have, just people saying manga's coming to America to take their lunch. They'd also look at bande dessinée and be like, wow, like these books, like especially like Disney based ones, Les Schtroumpfs, you remember the Smurfs? Like they're super huge there.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Westerns, Blueberry is a very famous one about Western stuff. Like, yeah, I don't know. So I'm a big fan of the French comics.
Le Français. Well, yeah, and I think it's just like you'd have to first off you'd have to translate it into English, and I think a lot of them are not in the regard of that. Like they don't want
Yeah,
to.
isn't
They
it
don't.
weird?
Well, I mean, in a sense, it's more of a pride sort of thing. Like I kind of get it, but like if you want your stuff to get seen, like first off, you have the internet. But if you want your stuff to get seen, you kind of have to, because again, English is becoming the sort of universal language now.
Yeah, it's the Borg.
The almost we are
Yeah.
the speak our language. But I mean, it's coming to that point where like even even in countries across the world that's not English speaking are starting to have English as the like I think Korea is like South Korea is starting to have that and
Oh, nice.
um but yeah, English is starting to become that universal language and um if you want your stuff to get seen and you're across the way, I mean the Japanese are already doing it, so it's up
Yeah,
to you.
yeah.
But Paris, and let's see, Ultima Paris, France, Paris, France. The venue is Paris Nord Villepinte Exhibition Center. I probably read that wrong, but I
Oh
mean,
mon dieu.
oh, sacre bleu. Um, oh my goodness. But okay, so you have Belgium, Japan Expo Belgium in Brussels, Japan Expo USA.
Ooh,
Okay, so you have a lot of Orleans, uh,
Orléans.
or Orleans. Oh, I'm sorry. In America it said Orleans, but Orleans, uh,
Marseille.
Marseille, Montreux, Montreux. I was thinking maybe not. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's pretty interesting to do that in France. Le
Yeah.
Français.
Well,
Uh,
I'd be interested to see what the French think of Japanese manga. Like, it looks like there's some type of synchronicity here.
uh, well, we have the internet. What do No, nothing with 6 7. What do French? I saw it. I saw it there. People think of manga. Oh, I have to spell it right. Oh, hello. Manga is deeply embedded in French culture and is viewed as a mainstream, respectable art form rather than a niche hobby.
Wow.
Uh, it's pretty cool. Um, it accounts for over 55% of all comics sold in France. So it has the biggest take. It's not the only one, but it does have the biggest cut.
Wow.
55% of 2021. So it might be more now. Um, Making the country the second largest manga market outside Japan. Nice. Key
Well,
asks. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, crikey.
That's a lot. That big number's big right there. It's bigger than my hand. Key aspects of French public perception include generational nostalgia, the Club Dorothy generation. Not sure if I'm saying that right. Those who grew up in the 80s and 90s developed a passionate, lifelong affinity for anime and manga, turning it into a shared cultural touchstone that persists into adulthood. Cultural legitimacy. Unlike in some other Western countries, manga is not considered childish, although there are manga for children. It is accepted across all age groups and demographics, with adults actively engaging with mature and complex topics. I always point to what Clamp has done with XXX Holic. Government endorsement. Now, this is interesting. The popularity is so significant that it influences policy. For instance, the French government's Culture Pass subsidy for youth heavily favored manga purchase over traditional fine arts like opera or classical literature. Wow, that's pretty
Wow.
impressive. That is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Um, Creative influence. The French appreciation has led to a thriving industry of manfra, Japanese inspired French comics. So manfra. I almost feel like saying manfrau, but that's probably a different story altogether. Manfrau has come here to make another manga. See here, we've made this thing. It says in French here, omelette du fromage. Don't try that. With successful series like Radiant gaining international recognition, further validating the medium within the local bande dessinée tradition. Okay, I think I'm not sure if I'm saying that bande dessinée. I think that's what you
Yeah.
said too. That's what you
Yeah.
said. Bond,
That's his name. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
bande dessinée.
Yeah. It literally just means like bond means like strip,
Mm-hmm.
and déjeuner is like view or like basically it's comic strip, even though it's technically not a comic strip.
Comic,
Uh,
but you said Destiny was like conflict, so comic conflict. That right there, that's it sounds like
yeah.
a comic. A comic conflict. You Americans, you think you have the manga? We are over here. We're gonna fight you. Ha
Whoa.
ha ha. It is coming to the point where you are like coming and saying, "Oh, oui, oui," and I said, "Oh, take it, take it up."
Je suis le grand fromage.
Mais oui, sort of. But anyway, what is the history of manga's introduction to France? I do remember uh, that I remember seeing a video where the godfather of manga, for all those know, it was um, Osamu Tezuka, who is considered the godfather of manga. And I believe he had uh, uh, been invited over, or something, had visited France, of course, for all his different works. And certainly his stuff deals with a lot of mature themes. Oh, everyone pretty much knows him for uh, Atom Boy or Astro Boy, for
Mhm.
those who don't know. But he's done a whole bunch of, so like there was, what is the website? There's a museum in Japan. Nope, I did that one wrong. How to spell today, children? That is not me. Uh, Here we go. This is the official site of Osamu Tezuka. So that way people can go check it out for themselves. But basically, he's called the Godfather of manga because he helped make it very uh, popular at that time, and he's done a lot of different stuff. 1928. Um, but yes, this is the place, and of course, he's done a lot of characters. Again, Astro Boy is one. Blackjack is another. Actually, I can see here. Here we go. Yeah, you have a lot of different characters. Princess Knight is one. Let's see.
I don't know
Uh,
if the audience can see that.
oh, give me a second. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, look at that. Sun Wukong or
Yeah, Sun Wukong. Well, technically, it's not. I mean, you're just doing the
Sun Sun.
yeah. Uh, Pinocchio. I'm trying to find if there's series names, like, because that's Jack Black right there. For those who don't know, no, really, it is no Blackjack. I'm sorry, it's Blackjack.
Say he
That's
did a great voice of Bowser.
yeah. No, it's not that. Let's see. I'm trying to find. Okay, so these are the manga series of manga that he's created. Obviously, Mighty Atom or Atom Boy or Astro Boy, because of all that. Um, Princess Knight, Blackjack.
Kimba,
Let
the White Lion, the Disney
Oh yeah,
ripoff.
Yeah, the Jungle Emperor. Uh, let's see. I don't know recognize most of these, but I think it should be made a point that majority of these are not like kid friendly. Like
Oh
there
no.
was yeah. So there is that part of manga that is able to get like they had just said in for the French like it's able to get into more depth. And I think that's probably that I would I'm not sure. So I'm not going to presume. I would think to some degree manga is able to do more in the essence of where it can go versus where American comics can go. Because
Mm.
obviously, of course, we all know, the you you would have a hard time finding an American. I don't know if maybe there's something similar in the American comic industry. I don't know. You would probably have a hard time finding someone who's made a comic similar to High School DxD.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just gonna point that out there right now. Because it's just that kind of stuff that I just can't see. And I think again, you got one side of the competition that's competing on a different level, and you got another that's competing on a different level, and they both have their complementary pros and cons. But for me, there's just that side of it where, like, not speaking down to anyone who makes American comics, is just there's a depth of I don't know what's the word artistic expression
Mhm.
that seems to be more so on that side. And I'm not saying like you can explore all the stories you want, right? Like American side, you can explore all the stories you want, but you can't. I just can't see like something of like High School DxD or
It's
I
the
think
tennis
there's
one.
no High School DxD. I'm gonna have to bring it up. Hold on. High School DxD is not a tennis one.
Oh no, no,
Uh
no! I was just saying that's probably in that same camp where it's like a very mundane subject, like Captain Tennis or whatever, and it's
oh no, good sir. No, you are in the wrong ballpark.
Nani.
I'm this No, well, come on, don't be like that. I tried to get into the stinking. Uh, I'm trying to find a good, uh, like, gosh, I can't. Maybe this will work. Well, this will have to do. This will have to do. Let's see.
Ooh, Ikuzo.
Yeah, yeah. It's very like this is from the anime, from it, but like I believe this is from the manga, and it gets pretty spicy. Let me just put it
Giggity.
that way. Yeah, no joke. It does get very spicy, but it's sort of like it'd be very. It would be. I don't know if there's an equivalent on the American side because it's just again that artistic freedom of expression to be able to go there. And I'm not saying there isn't close to because I think there's like what like I'm sure there've been times like in DC and Marvel where they've gotten very adultish, but like on this scale with fan service and etchy stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Kawaii. Yeah,
Why?
it's like rated R Tenchi Muyo.
Oh no 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 no. This goes well. Well. Well, with High School DxD, the anime maybe, but it's only by it's only by I don't know how to explain it. It's not by action, it's more just by look. Like
Oh.
I can't show any of it because it's all it's all top. It's all top. That's all I'm gonna say. It's all top.
This
All right.
warrants some research.
Yeah. It
Clear
it
my browser history.
listen, listen, all right. I watched the anime, okay? I did enjoy it. But the point of the matter though was is that it's trying to point out that to find a similarity in the American side or whatever, you're not going to. It's either an independent comic, which you'll probably find like underground ones or whatever, but like to be like front facing indie, that sort of thing, maybe it might be a bit harder. You never
Mm.
know. But this is just going on a guess. It's not an actuality. But before we go any further, uh,
Mhm.
give me a second. I gotta find. Oh, there you are. But before we go any further, it is now the time of top of the hour. It's where I set aside some time for me and my guests to promote our stuff. Whether or not they're a content creator or not, doesn't matter. If they have something to say for a few minutes, whatever, they can do that
Oh,
too. But I do have your links, good sir. So if
oh,
you
thanks.
want to, Yarnwitch, thank you so much. Much appreciated, Yarnwitch in the chat. Lovely as she is. Although she can be a brat sometime. That's I said it. I said it. You can be a brat. And she's good egg. But anyway, here are your links, good sir. So if you want to promote your stuff, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Yeah. I got a trailer if you don't mind if
Sure.
that's cool.
Just yeah, you'll just have to you have to share screen, and once you're ready, I am the Brad. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you're willing to admit it, Yarny. I am glad you're willing to admit it. That girl knows what she wants. But anyway, yeah, you just have to go to that little thing down there. It has like a TV screen with an arrow in it. You just click on that and share, and I'll bring it up.
TV screen, share screen.
Well,
Okay.
you know where you see us down there? You'll see like a little screen with a arrow in it, like a TV screen.
Yep.
Okay. You click on that, share your tab, right? Share your tab, and then I'll be able to bring it up whenever you're ready.
All right. Let's see. Fingers crossed this works.
All right, I see it. Okay, I see it. Okay, here we go.
All right.
All right.
So this was the trailer that I showed for the manga edition. Apologies for the Japanese. Most of it is subtitled, but the intro part isn't. So without further ado, this is the manga version of the Infinitale Chronicles War of the Trees, Jumoko no Taisen, Volume 1.
Mm.
So can you hear the
イン
audio?
フィニタイルクロ
Yeah.
ニコルズ樹木の大戦
Ooh.
第1弾の漫画のサンプルページをぜひお楽しみください。ここに表示されているいくつかのページは3冊目の本からのもの、アドベント・オブ・ソローズです。神話上の生き物の世界へようこそ。この世では危険は愚か者を殺す。英雄たちは盗まれた遺産を再発見する。情の決断は多くの人々の運命に影響を与えます。家族を守るため、父親は危険な課題に立ち向かいます。私たちのヒーローたちの決断によって多くの人生が影響を受けます。英雄は過去の恨みを許さなければならない。そして悪行は償わなければならない。これこそが共通の敵に対して彼らを団結させるものである。自由のために全てを犠牲にしますか？それともより大きな力を得るために彼ら全員を裏切るのでしょうか？派閥が決定し、ゲームが始まります。掛け金はかつてないほど高くなっています。かつての敵同士が団結し、運命に抗うことができるのか？母親は強力な神々を倒せるのか？インフィニタイルクロニコルズ樹木の大戦発売中。
発売
Nice. Nice. Oh, that's pretty good.
Thanks. Yeah, you can check out the trailer and here on the website. You can check out. I'm a firm believer in try before you buy, so you get a free. I think it's like a 15-page preview of the books. As you can see, this manga edition, you read from right to left and flip the pages accordingly.
Wow.
And yeah, if you're not a fan of manga, we also have. Let me go back up here. We also have the first two books here on Amazon, book 1 and book 2, and just
Nice.
like with the manga, you can click on the page and review the trailer, or flip through the book and get get a taste of what's in the book. And on top of that, if you actually want to buy it, you just hit the buy now button, and voila, you see you are in Amazon of your country, and you can buy it. So, yeah.
Ooh. Using the technology of his time.
Yeah, that's what we currently have available, and we're working on book 3. So this is just the preview. This is just chapter 1. It's 44 pages, black and white. There's going to be about 4 or 5 chapters in the final book 3, and it won't have this cover. This was Nerium's homage. Nerium's our artist for book 3. She put this homage here to Warcraft. So it's got the cool instead of orcs and humans, it's the fauns and the Elfar kind of making a big stand in the a big battle at one of the ancient cities that was unfortunately destroyed. But yeah, that's Infinitale Chronicles. So
Nice. Yeah, it looks pretty awesome, and you've put it in such a neat fashion that anyone can come and check it out and find where it's at.
oh yeah, thanks, man. But yeah, let me figure out how to stop sharing.
Don't worry, I got that part. But yeah, you just have to press like the yeah, there you go. Good job.
Boom!
He figured it out. Yes.
They're thinking.
He did it with his mind. Guess what will happen next when he uses more of his brain? This summer, they call him Big Brain.
I like me thinking meat.
Oh goodness. But anyway, the links are right there for his website and for his Twitter X. Well, for the Infinitale, not Chris's personal one. He's not going to share that. But, he said no. All right, stop asking. But again, his link will be both on the Rumble side and YouTube side, and I try to put it on the other ends like a blazing kick, but we'll see how long they usually disappear after a time. So that is that. But again, if you want to know more about Chris's stuff, the hard work he's put into the comics, and just all around his just all the artistic work and the story work, it's just worth giving it a look through. So links are right there. Give it a look. If it's worth it to you, great. And support a fellow indie comic person. And if not, you know what? At least you get to look at pretty pictures, and that's the important part right there. Is you get to look at pretty pictures. I've always been stopped by pretty pictures, like, you dirty. See, I knew that was going to happen in the story. But yeah, his links are right there. So that way, able to find this man, and people won't yell at me, be like, "Where was his links?" It's there. So look. But anyway, from my end of things, whether you're on the Rumble side or YouTube side, doesn't matter which side you're on. If you wouldn't mind, leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated, because not only does it help in being seen more, like a big chunk of content creators want to be, it also helps in having other people on, like Chris and Infinitale or Nightmare or so many other people, or Yarny. I've had over 330 various guests over time, and yeah, so you get to be a part of it, Chris. So congratulate yourself.
I am honored. Thank you. I'm in good company.
Yeah, now you get a cookie or something like that. I don't have anything to give. I don't have anything to give myself. But again, any help with the engagement factor, and that's what it is. Engagement is share, comment, likes, all that stuff. That's all engagement. So any help with that, much appreciated on any of the places I stream to. And of course, where you can find how you can find me to those places. Well, I'm glad you asked. That link right there will take you to all the places I'm at. Right now, I have everything but the kick one because I've just started to just try it out because who knows if anyone's watched it or not. But that doesn't matter. What matters is it's out there for anyone to see. So you can go to that link, that streamers. A big shout out to Tomby, by the way, who created streamers, free for anyone to use from any platform. I believe right now he just finished working on his sprites, which is like these little figures kind of go along the bottom row right here.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, if you want to check that out, you can go to here. Let me get the link for that. Nope, that's the wrong. There we go. Now I got the link. All right. Don't want that. You can go to this link right here, sign up for your own, and make your own like I did just myself. Like for one of the things I really like about streamers is that it has like a little event space. So when you click on it, you'll get to see what's going on through your whole week or month, whatever the person has set up. So, but yeah, give it a look. All my stuff is in there. Well, at least almost all my stuff. I gotta add my kick. But beyond that point, thank you so much for all your goodness and being here. And of course, I do promote a few things before we continue on forward. And one of them, of course, is one I've been really pushing on because after seeing all of the people who are getting their account hijacked on X and all that stuff, really is a go-to tool that I use on a daily basis. So this is called Proton Pass. Now, if people don't know what Proton is a privacy-based company. Basically, their homeland is in Switzerland, where it has the highest privacy laws and all that good stuff. But the reason why I promote it is because not only do I use it, but because their main focus is making a better privacy-oriented product. I almost said project, but it's product. Like Proton Mail, the VPN, the Proton Drive, and of course Proton Pass. So again, you can look to that link right there. Look, look, I'm not expecting anything out of it. I don't care if I don't get anything out of it. I'm just wanting to put a free tool, no ads in your hands because I believe in what they're trying to do. And for Proton Pass, it is a password manager. They have 2FA and the password generator hooked into it, so you don't have to go like doing like a Google authenticator or Microsoft authenticator, all this stuff. It's directly into it. Because again, a lot of people had their accounts hijacked on X, and if you did get your account hijacked and you make a new account, you better have a good password and you better have your 2FA activated. And Proton does that. Proton Pass does that pretty well, all in one place. So links right there. You can create a free account. I implore you to create a free account and use that free account because at the end of the day, I'd rather put a privacy tool in your hands that I believe is the best rather than just hear people continually still lose their X account or any other account for that fact. So links right there and it'll be on both the Rumble side and YouTube side. So thank you very much for that. And of course, hey there, Clev, what's going on? What's happening? What's happening, good sir? Um, but also there's one more thing that I promote before we get back to it. This one is called Oh, this one is called Biltong USA. That's right, good old Biltong USA. I actually got to have on the owner of Biltong USA. His name's Anton. Great guy, actually from South Africa. And of course, Biltong is a South African snack that is air dried cured meat. And
Ooh.
they have very spicy ones, and they have not spicy at all. So if you want to give it a look, link is right there on screen. It'll be both in the description below on both Rumble and YouTube. But you can go there. You'll see the biltong, but they also sell sweets and treats from the UK, from South Africa, a whole bunch. Look, I bought like a few weeks ago. I bought like a whole candy rush, and now pretty much all my candy is gone. All right, that's how good this stuff is. Biltong, I am almost out of biltong. I'm addicted to it. But I like being able to support. They're in Sunset, Texas, by the way. So if you ever want to go visit, they'll have the same things they have on their online store in store. So give it a look, and of course you can use code Dara to save yourself some 10% off. So give it a look. Word it to you, great. If not, it will be there for you to pick up later when you do decide to give it a real look, because they're great people and it's made in America. So there you go. Um, but yeah, definitely don't want to. He's pushing food again. I'm sorry, okay. Oh goodness. But yeah, definitely after hearing about a lot of people losing their accounts and X, I was like, I people just make a free account and just use it, because you really got to protect your account out there on X. And one so funny thing is, like, I have Proton Pass, but even after hearing all those people lose their account, I still went and changed my password. So it's like better to be safe than sorry.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to get that done. But yeah, and there's a few people I'd mentioned it to, and they've signed up, at least free side signed up for, which is great. I don't care. I don't care to get anything from it. I just want that tool in your hands, because it is feisty out there.
Oh yeah.
And it's good to protect your stuff. But so beyond your comic and stuff, like, so you said you're like in cybersecurity. That is
Oh yeah.
got to be pretty fancy and pretty difficult at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I'm a UX designer, so
Mm,
most of the stuff that I do revolves around user interface and
mm,
like information architecture stuff. But
interesting.
yeah, it's getting interesting out there. We now our company. I don't know if I should say it because I
Yeah,
can't
don't you
represent
don't
them again.
yeah,
But
don't want to do that.
they're exploring aggressive defense where we actually have resilience now instead of. So basically, it's a guarantee that you're going to get or you're going to suffer from a cyber attack at least sometime in your life, and
Yeah.
probably multiple times.
Mm,
So protection alone isn't really the answer anymore.
mm,
Now it's aggressive defense, it's resilience. It's okay, you've been hit, you've been compromised, now what? And
mm.
that's where AI comes in, where we're actually developing AI to fight AI. And
That's a funny one right there.
yeah, yeah, well, it's let them fight. But, like the industry, or at least from what I've been seeing, is incredibly, incredibly scary. Like the more I learn about cybersecurity, the more I want to become a Luddite and just go live in a cabin in the mountains. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, it's not really it's not for the optimist to get into cybersecurity. You really need to have a low opinion of what's happening in this world, and we see attacks probably with every passing day. I think it is it sextupled now, or like six times the amount. Like it's kind of like with Steam, the Valve Steam video games. How there's that chart that shows like every year since 2004, the number of games has like doubled, tripled, quadrupled, and so on. Well, that's also working with cybersecurity. We're noticing that attackers and scammers are getting more and more
Oh.
savvy. Yeah, they're like we can now see, like, this one scared me. Like our ops team will actually put on presentations and show, hey, this is what you've been seeing lately, or this is what we as a cybersecurity company have been seeing. They literally have one now where they can create a cloned voice of somebody,
Mhm,
even FaceTime. Like they can get a photo of somebody and have them FaceTime somebody and be like, hey, mom, I'm in jail right now. Come and get me. You're going to have to bail me out. Or I've been kidnapped or whatever.
mhm,
Or I'm at the front door. Let me in. And it's the FaceTime of your kid, your daughter, your son, whatever, saying, hey, I know the door's locked, but I don't have my key. Can you open the door and let me in? And then they open the door and surprise, it's not your kid.
mhm,
It's somebody that's cloned your kid's voice and has created, like, basically like a deep fake
mhm.
of your kid. So if it starts fooling humans like that, it's also starting to fool like original cybersecurity measures, where it's like, you know, enter your, say your password or whatever. Like I think the only thing they haven't been able to truly spoof yet is like biometrics. Like your fingerprint, or
Mhm.
there's a lot of things called zero trust that are coming in now,
Yeah.
where Yeah, where they kind of close the close the loop.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, it's yeah. If your map is showing what I think it's showing, yeah,
it is. Well, no.
yeah.
Well, this is it's Kaspersky. I don't know how to say that. Kaspersky.
Mhm.
Because I was looking for like cyber threat maps because that was one I remember using a long time ago, but it didn't work. And you just look at that and it's like, holy cow! Like the whole of Europe is on fire.
Oh yeah.
That's insane, and it's coming from like it just shows like visualization. I don't know if it's like to or from, but like in America, like you're looking at the United States and it's barely getting anything at all. You go over to Russia and you're watching a fireworks show. I just like the colors. I saw the colors and like, wow, that's nice.
It's like a Aurora Borealis, yeah.
But I mean, it just goes like you were saying. It's kind of scary, and like if I'm looking at this over here, I'm like, that's crazy. And
Yeah.
just to think, like, we're all connected through I mean, sure, Elon's got his stuff, but, like, we're all connected through wires on the ocean floor.
Mhm.
Like, it's just insane crazy of how that is. Oh, Greenland's not getting attacked. Well, how about that? Nothing worse than Greenland. But, yeah, it's certainly a crazy thing, but, I just wanted to give a visualization for that because what you're talking about, I can understand. And,
Yeah.
that's why I do my promotional stuff for Proton because sometimes it's good to have because not I mean big regular people it's not going to be them it's more likely going to be companies or
Mhm, mhm.
government or whatever but it's good for regular people to have something that would be like preventative a preventative front right
Yeah.
because Proton's really updating their stuff on a maybe not a daily, but like when they can, sort of thing. So, but like, yeah, just looking at that, like that's that's a light show.
Yeah, yeah, in all honesty, like, the best advice that I've had given to me, and I like to pass it on, is at this point in time, every time you enter your credentials, or for any type of website or whatever, make sure that you also enable multi-factor authentication.
2FA, yep, yep.
Yeah, all the time. It sounds negligent. You may be just paying your oil bill or your electricity or whatever,
Mm.
but sometimes that password you use for that is also what you use for your online banking, which is another bad practice. Don't use the same password for, you know,
Yeah, that was me.
compartmentalize.
That was me back in the day because I it's hard enough to remember, but with Proton Pass, I don't need to. Why is it so bright? Can't I just have something that's dark? Good lord, can I just have a dark screen? Ugh, whatever. But anyway, so to kind of give, just to kind of show off, uh, what I'm talking about. There we go.
Ooh, there we are.
There we go. Well, that's Proton Pass.
Yes.
Obviously, you can get for individuals or for business. And I always, for some regard, I always thought business was spelled with BUI, but it's actually BUSI.
Yeah,
I'm like
busyness.
busyness. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. But I mean, yeah, it does a lot. They have a thing called the Sentinel program, which basically checks the dark web to see
Mhm,
if any of your stuff has fallen out there.
mhm.
Um, so I mean, just as a quick go through. And no, again with while he's talking about stuff, it's best to bring up something to just kind of like protect passwords, passkeys, and credit cards with zero knowledge. End-to-end encryption. That means no one else, not even Proton, can access your sensitive information unless you share them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Uh, I don't. What does zero with zero knowledge mean?
What, with zero knowledge?
Yeah. Oh,
I
that must mean that just means that they can't see it or they don't know it. I'm guessing that's what it means.
Yeah,
But
I think it's part of the zero trust umbrella, where it's the idea is that any information you pass is encrypted end to end, so
mm,
that no matter where you send it, it's like it could be a password, it could be a keystroke, whatever. It's all encrypted to the point where even the people you're doing business with can't even. It's all encrypted to them too. They're like,
yeah.
"What is this?" It's all hashed.
Yeah, yeah. Log in with faster autofill, save time, reduce errors, improve team efficiency by automatically completing login forms across websites and apps. No need to copy and paste. I'll still copy paste. I will copy paste all day long. Access your data from anywhere. Securely sign in on mobile devices, laptops or browsers. Proton Pass syncs across devices, ensuring seamless access to credentials wherever you need them. It's true.
Mm,
Safeguard team collaboration. I think that's more with like group, uh, business group things.
yeah.
Stay ahead of threats. Proton Pass monitors the dark web for credential leaks, so you can prevent damage from data breaches.
Mm.
Um,
Well,
let's.
that's another reason why you would like. So this credential manager program is going to help you use that idea of compartmentalizing your credentials. Never use the same password across different things. Think of it like it's a submarine and it just got a hole in the hull or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
sinking. Every one of those chambers has a door that can lock watertight, and
Mhm.
by having different passwords, if you get one section compromised, it won't spread to everything else, because that's how these people work. And I can guarantee you right now, everybody that's hearing this, your information is already on the dark web.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The channel Scammer Payback, I showed that where data brokers and stuff will buy your information out there,
Oh yeah.
and again, Proton does some pretty good. Well, Proton Mail and all this stuff. Oh, here's the one I was talking about. Protect emails with aliases. Automatically create unique email aliases to safeguard corporate addresses, reduce spam, and block phishing attempts. So basically, this is an email they'll make, but if something happens, you can just disable it, and you won't get anything email or otherwise anymore
Oh
because
wow.
it's not your actual email. This is your actual email right here. Like this,
Yeah, it's an intercept. Yeah.
yeah. So
That's
it go,
awesome.
yeah. So that's how it is. The simplify two-factor authentication, securely store, autofill, and display 2FA codes for your team, saving time while keeping accounts protected. So basically, it'll be like I don't want to bring it up because I don't want to show my stuff. But basically, you're just basically what happens is like when you go to a website and it has the ability to 2FA, the 2FA will give you a code or scan like a QR code thing, which you
Mhm.
can do with the app too. Like you can do with the app and all that stuff. You'll scan that QR code or whatever, and you'll input it in a little section where it's for 2FA, and then from that point it will keep it stored. And of course they also give like a backup uh words or something like that, backup numbers or something, so in
Mhm.
case you need to get in and you don't remember, you can just use that as well. So you can add notes are in there too. Send passwords, notes, or credit cards individually or in encrypted digital containers without losing control of your data. I can say
Nice.
data, I can say data like Star Trek, but it's data. Okay. Organize information in one place. Attach files or documents to your stored credentials so that you can access account-related information quickly and securely. Now, I should say that a majority of people who work at Proton are from CERN or
Mhm.
CERN related, which is very high end, at least in the regard I've heard. Um, Stay alert to data breaches. Receive immediate notifications if your credentials appear in a third party data leak, enabling rapid action to protect business data. And of course, reduce risk with passkeys. So, do you know? I don't know. I don't understand passkeys in the sense versus like passwords and stuff. What is a passkey?
Well, I mean, at least from my understanding of them, it's a uniquely encrypted element that kind of bypasses your standard. Like sometimes credentials being entered aren't always stored in the right spot or in a nice spot.
Mhm.
In fact, Sony Online or PlayStation got caught with their hands in the cookie jar by storing all of their credentials in a was it like a rich text document,
Mm,
and yeah, they got hacked. Literally, somebody went, "Oh, let's see all the names and passwords." Whereas if you have a passkey, I believe it can also dynamically change based on whatever session you're on. So as you're
mm,
putting it in, it's not always the same. It's kind of like with your two factor authentication. It's a
mm,
very time sensitive thing. It's a unique scenario thing.
mm.
It's not always going to be the same thing. So if somebody gets a hold of your passkey, well, it may work for that session, it may not, but the passkey, could be linked to like your IP, your like your NIC, or like your network card, or any number of things that generates that key. So it's like a unique identifier.
Mhm.
So if I use this key and I import it in, and somebody else grabs it and they're over in India or something,
Mhm. Oh
it's
yeah.
not it's going to go, well, according to this key, you're geographically in the United States and you're using a Mac computer, but
Mhm.
yet you're trying to import it in as a Windows based computer over in India.
Mhm.
That's not correct. So that's my understanding of it. There could be I could be wrong on that, because I know there's a whole bunch of other things
Right.
that we have coming down the pipe.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Well, it's just because you're in cybersecurity, I just figured to ask.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
it just says reduce risk with passkeys, log in securely with phishing resistant passkeys, and enjoy a safer online experience. So basically, it's sort of like you have your regular password, and you can make that strong or not, which some people don't. You have 2FA, which is also making it strong, depending on, and then you have passkeys. It seemed like there's a level up. It keeps going from just regular password to now password 2FA to now password 2FA, or just straight to passkey after that point,
Hmm.
which I guess makes sense. Support compliance and reporting, monitor usage, flag potential risks, and track your team's activity to ensure everyone meets your business security standards. So basically, this is for business arena. And
Hmm.
streamlining access with SSO. Log into Proton Pass and all your business tools. So this is business side, and define and enforce security policies. So basically, this bottom line is for business.
Hmm. Hmm.
Proton Pass switch in one click. So you just do one click from all these different ones, and it's all there. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of compliance, criticize Europe all you want, but the GDPR, their compliance for data information and transmission and digital ownership,
Mhm,
I am a full supporter of that. It's a pain for an American cybersecurity company to make sure our product maintain or meets those compliance standards.
mhm,
But I'm looking at these standards going, there was that major, was it Experian credit card breach about 3 or 4 years ago that affected every American. Like all of our credit card information has been stolen.
mhm,
And we had no say in it because it was done because a third party company, without our consent, decided to do a credit check using the Experian software that was compromised. It was, remember the Solar Winds debacle, uh, where it compromised. It was basically data security
mhm,
that was compromised by a certain foreign country's hackers,
mhm.
and they ended up making it malware, and it stole every American, like every one of us, including Canadians. All of our information is on the dark web about our credit scores and all that stuff, even social security numbers. But
Wow.
if we had the GDPR in place, the third party that did these credit checks that used this stuff to compromise us would have never been allowed to have happen, because in the GDPR's compliance, they have to receive active permission and consent from every user, that they're like, your data is your property. Anybody that touches it needs your consent to move it around.
Mhm.
And I wish America and the rest of the world adapted that, or adopted that.
Yeah, because there's the other part of that factor is privacy too, and
Yep.
Proton's very very big on that manner of privacy. Like privacy is a right rather than just a byproduct. And even there's other companies out there too. I'm just promoting Proton because I use it and I know it. Um, but again, when it comes to like what you're talking about and what you work with, and just we're seeing that very colorful map and all this stuff, it's like I think I think regular people don't understand the regard because they're busy and it's not a big ordeal until it is.
Yep.
And again, a lot of people losing their account on X, but that's just a small thing in the bucket. Like for me, I'm making sure that if I sign up, now I've begun to like try to use the email alias sort of thing,
Hmm.
but before then it was just sort of like trying to have a strong password and all this stuff, and I may go back over some and try to. If there are some, I think Amazon allows passkeys, so I may try to get that set up with what I have. But beyond that scope, it really is just like you want to make sure your stuff is safe, and don't wait until you get hit. Don't
Yeah.
wait until you get hit.
That's the worst part is, like you said, it's not a problem until it is, because it's out of sight, out of mind. And one day it may not even be you that gets compromised, and it will end up affecting you. A parent, you've got elderly parents that are susceptible to this more than, us young and savvy people. But like, they could be doing their online banking or whatever, and
Yeah.
suddenly, sir, you're need to redeem the coupon, or whatever. And the next thing you know, their entire finances have been extorted, and now your mom or your dad or both are in serious dire straits.
Yeah, that's where I would like to set up that regard
Yeah.
for my parents. But then again, it's sort of like you get comfortable with something and you want to keep to it, but that comfortability can get you in a lot more trouble than anything else.
Hmm.
And sure, yeah, and I'm comfortable with Proton, but like it's also the factor of like when it's being careful about what you have with and trying to protect it. That's
Hmm.
basically it. And I don't. I just it becomes a frustrating notion when you see people out there's like I've got at least something for you to try and they're like nah I'm okay. It's like you just lost all your data. What are you gonna do? Nothing I can do about it. Yes, there is. There's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it. Some people,
Yeah.
man. But no, at least I mean for what you do, I can't imagine, but at least you have some sort of insight where someone could ask and be like, "Oh, what's that about?" And you're like, "Listen, you want the real truth? It's pretty dark out there. All right,
Yeah.
it's pretty dark out there. But I'm glad there are things that allow that can shine a little light and can protect. Um,
Mm.
but anyway, it is getting to that point in time, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start winding ourselves out. But we're gonna do our start with the promotional stuff and all that. Do all the shindiggery. I'm not gonna dance for you, so don't expect that. But Uh, but the point of the matter is that again, it's top hour stuff, all that, just to kind of refresh on where our stuff is at, and then of course, you know, a few last things before we head on out into that glorious sunset or moonlight, depending on where you're at in the world. So, first things first, the big gentleman right here, who came back on again and is awesome. Uh, Good sir, if you'd like to promote your stuff again, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, Infinitale Chronicles, books 1 and 2 are available on Amazon. You can head on over to infinitalechronicles.com and get free preview, 15 pages. You can download them, do whatever you want with them. Of those 2 books, we're working on the third book now, and we're aiming for end of summer next year to launch our crowdfunding campaign for the crowdfunded version. And then about a year after, if that succeeds, about a year after that, we'll have the retail version up on Amazon as well. And yeah, in addition to that, I'm also working on a tabletop role playing game,
Ooh.
and some of that will be available in the crowdfunding campaign for book 3 as well. So you get to see a sneak peek of some of the rules, some of the cards, little visuals. So yeah.
I can't pass. Go. I'm done. I'm not playing this game no more. Ah, those monsters, they can have their game. I ain't playing this. Um, but no, but yes, is his link is right there below on both the Rumble side and YouTube side because I streamed to both. Well, I'm streaming to both that and Blaze and Kick, but they don't. The chats for those don't last long. So
uh,
if you want to see him in all his glory, links are down below.
Thanks.
Of course, always. And hold on, I'm trying to write down the people who stopped by for rated. But how do we get back? Nope. I didn't want to do that. There we go. But yes, link right there. Thank you so much. For Mind Things, quickly, look, you like it, you love it, help with the engagement factor. Helps me get seen, and also helps with having other people on, like Chris, like Yarny, like hopefully one day you, Clev, looking at you, Dev, so many people. Again, over 330 various guests, and I am grateful that Chris gets to be one of them. So
Oh yeah.
thank you all for that. And again, wherever you are, whether it be YouTube, Rumble, Kicker, Plays, any help with the engagement factor is much appreciated. So I appreciate you all. And of course, this is my link right there. You want to know where I'm at? Link right there. You don't want to know where else I'm at? You want to see how you can find me? I hope you have your eyes open, because that's how you can start it off first. And then second, you're going to go down that link and you'll find where else I'm at, because that's all my stuff right there. So link right there. Thank you to Tomby for making streamers. I use it. It's free to use for anyone. Doesn't matter the platform. I just use it for having all my links in one place. But you can go there, find where else I'm at. Bing, bang, boom. It'll be like a colored rainbow. You'll be like, wow, so many places. And I'll be like, yeah, now pick one. Um, do it now. Pick one. Get there right now. But again, link will be on both Rumble side and YouTube side. And the other places too, if they last. And then, of course, like we were talking about, Proton Pass. Look, I'm not joking around about this, guys. You'll make a free account, no ads, all that good stuff. I implore you to try it. I implore you to at least give it a look, because, again, it is a rough. If you, just using X example, if you were to lose your account on X, it's nigh impossible to get it back, because support there is not great. Is not great at all. So again, link right there. You can make a free account or you can pay plan. Up to you. I don't care what I get out of it. I just care I put something in your hand that's best for you, because I use it on a daily basis. Links right there. Give it a look. And of course, Biltong USA. Love the dude. Like having him on. Anton is his name. Family business is his game. And he and his family in Sunset, Texas, are making something called biltong. Biltong is a South African snack that's a air dried cured meat. I love it. It's tasty, delicious, and I'm addicted to it. Unfortunately and fortunately, but that can be a problem in itself. So there's that. But go to that link right there. You can see all the stuff they do. They even have drinks and sweets from the UK. And of course, if you'd like to save a little money, you can use code DARA, a 4-letter word you can say. And please, please don't misuse it, like I know some people. Hey, Dara, all right? I've heard it, okay? I've heard what you say out there. I'm a little disappointed. Little disappointed. But again, link right there and code DARA for 10% off. Of course, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern is the 101st Pay It Forward stream. We just had the 100th last week, so this will be the 101st. 100. Come on, 101st. 101st. Okay, it'll be 101st Pay It Forward stream, and of course, my guest Sand King will join me at 8 p.m. Eastern. So come by for the giving of the love and donations and all that stuff first off, and then my guest at 8 p.m. Eastern. So hope to see you all there. Looking forward to seeing you all there. And of course, after that is the one thing I like to do with all my guests is something I call questions from a hat. Now, I bought a hat from Mumble, put some questions inside. So what happened is that my guest gets 2 free questions. I know, right? It's like a genie. Genie says you can't wish for more wishes. Well, I say you're wrong. You want more wishes, you got to pay for it, okay? Because it's just a nice little helpful thing. But what happens is, again, guest gets 2 freebies, but if you'd like to have more, you'd have to give a Rumble rant. I know I'm on YouTube. I'm not monetized. Stop asking. All right, I can't control that. But any help on the Rumble end will get you one. Now, I have stated before that if someone were to give a straight 500, and that means no community collection, in the chat, no chat collection, whatever, it's a straight 500. All the questions from the hat would be asked to my guest? And that's 40 plus questions right there.
Oh, good God.
That's it. You want to torture the guest? You gotta cough it up. No one has yet, but I'm pretty sure someone's out there that's gonna want to ruin someone's day.
You really hate me.
What question are we at? 10. I hate you all. But no, I would speed it up because if it was like a weekday or whatever, if it's a weekend, I would gonna let that go ride.
Yeah, let him simmer.
That's right. Feel the burn. You're like the frog in the cauldron. You're gonna feel a little heat. All right, here's the first question right here.
Oh.
Let's see what it says. It says, if you could make one silly law that everyone had to follow, what would it be?
One silly law that everyone would have to follow.
Everyone, even the president.
Even the president. Wow. Okay.
He is everyone, so I mean, you have to the inclusion.
Let's see. This is actually a really good question because it's like, if I ruled the world, make world. What would I do? Silly law. Actually, I can't say that one. That one's pretty rough. I don't want to.
Wait a minute.
I don't want to reveal to everyone how evil I truly am.
Oh goodness.
Something about requiring a license to bring. No, I would say that a silly law would be that every chemical company that creates food for the American diet must also eat everything that they create.
Ooh.
That should be a law, and failure to do so would be immediate imprisonment.
No, I'm not sure that's silly. That's more like health benefit, but we'll go with that.
It may be silly, but when the CEO of Big Chemical is glowing in the dark, it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have fed that to Americans. I'm just saying.
Johnson, why are you glowing like a glowworm? I think we need to take you to the hospital, Johnson.
Yeah.
He's glowing like a glowworm. All right, question. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, when I found out that they put what is it, the bread at Subway is one chemical element away from or is the same components that they used for yoga mats, and that apparently in cereals that I ate as a kid, like Cinnamon Toast Crunch and stuff, there's a paint remover. There's a really. So yeah, I just want to see the CEOs at these companies squirm.
And they say, and that was the day he learned why he lost his sense of taste.
Yeah. Does anybody else smell burnt toast?
I smell a fire. Is anyone on fire? Oh, that's just me. But anyway, question number 2, and this will be the last one unless someone gives a rumble rant. What word makes you laugh every time you say it?
What word makes me laugh every time I see it?
Say it.
Every time I say it.
Yep.
Let's see. A single word, so it can't be a phrase. Let's see.
It can be a conjoining of a word, like nonetheless, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah. Let's see. No, that's not a word.
Pocahontas is a good one. No, I'm just joking.
How about, let's see.
Well, go ahead.
Okay, so there's a part of your skin, if you've ever taken A&P, anatomy and physiology stuff, like your elbow, the skin on your elbow, how it's designed to retract and stretch or whatever, so that it doesn't crack. It's actually called your weenus.
Yeah.
So yeah, the loose skin on your elbow, the weenus, that one kind of makes me giggle.
There was, to give from mine, because this one I've told the story before, but there was a show called That 70s Show,
Mhm.
and they tried to come back, but it didn't last very long. But um, there was like one session where like they're in their circle doing all this stuff, and you have Michael Kelso come in, and he's just laughing his head off. And I'm like, what's going on here? And he's sort of like, he heard, I can't remember if he said he heard the word or just said a word, but he said the word pickle weasel. And I was just like, that's hilarious, pickle weasel.
Yeah.
Oh, makes me laugh almost every time I say it. Goodness sake. But yeah, that's just sort of thing right there. Where it's like, what word makes you laugh every time you say it? Well, that's about it right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's just pretty funny. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the show. I know. Don't cry for me, Argentina. We'll be back. We'll be back right after this commercial. But tomorrow, like I said, 7 p.m. Eastern for the 101st Pay It Forward stream with my guest Sand King coming on at 8 p.m. Eastern. It'll be a great time for that. And of course, thank you to my chat, whether you've been here since the beginning or you're joining in at the end, which, to be honest, if you're joining at the end, congratulations, you just made it to the end and you didn't have to be here for the whole thing. You pressed skipped and you didn't even know it. But thank you all in the chat. I appreciate you all, including those who rated. And of course, a big shout out to the man himself, Chris of Infinitale. Thank you so much for coming back on again. It's been a pleasure, sir. And
yeah, man.
I look forward to being able to do it again. And we'll see where the ball rolls next time.
Yeah,
because it's all around good fun for this. But regardless, on to the next point. What happens is that I used to end the show with a pogo video, One Day With You, but I've been trying to do something else. This is one that, so with the combination of using Claude and Suno, I use these poems I had, turned them into songs. And this one is called, hold on, 1, 3, 4, 5. And this one that I made, at least partially made, I did the words, the music is the other part, is called A Moment to a Lifetime. So I really like ending on it. It was very nice, chill, sort of boppy sort of thing. But again, looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. 101st Pay It Forward stream, 7 p.m. Eastern, and my guest at 8 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to all of you, including the big man himself, Chris. And I look forward to seeing you all next time, all right? Have a great night, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye.
Give me a moment, and I will make a lifetime. Give me a lifetime, and I will make something beyond recognition. Beyond recognition is a desire, a flame born of dreams forward. Yet dreams do not push beyond their scope. A recognition held back by reality. But reality's a dreaming way to come true, and be reality. So what do you wish? What is your desired reality? In truth, maybe not much. In truth, maybe it is. Only you can weave the dreams of wanting reality to form, and then, only then, to come true and be